What project? That project about how we feel about our bodies when we get older. And I'm like, oh my God! I was thinking that exact thing. We should totally do it. Whose idea is it? It was mine. And so we did. We had a wonderful time, and really people had ideas. I mean, I think that we don't talk about these things. And they are coming for all of us, whoever it is.
You hit that age.
Yes.
Because I hit 50 this year, and I was like,
You're not old.
No,
You're
I
not
know.
old.
I understand that now.
You're not old. But there are things that you have to think about and put in place. And I think for this particular group of people, the question was, how do we continue as artists? That was very, very important to us. How do we keep moving? How do we keep making? And I'm sure it's important to you too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you?
Wake up every day. Yeah. To keep going.
Be happier on the upside of the grass.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
Not good. Well, I loved it.
It's so good. We're so good. Thank you for inviting us. Being a great
Of
time.
course. Thanks for being here. It's really cool.
Just had to get on subways to get here. I understand there's some.
Well, I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
Especially the heat.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have anything to add or comments or questions?
How long was the process, Lisa, of
What was
the
the process?
documentary?
So after the great silliness of whose idea was this anyway, we initially were going to do a theater thing because many of the people are theater artists. But when Ronnie Eldridge came in, she was very clearly not going to come to rehearsal and do 5 performances a week. So that was when we decided to make it a film, which made it very easy. Everybody had ideas, and they all wrote monologues. Many of them are just great writers of themselves. And then we just started to help each other refine the monologues, make it better, make it shorter, make it longer. This is a really interesting thing. This moves me. So it was extreme group effort and a wonderful and loving group effort. Maggie Lowe talks about how she realized that art was community, and I realized that making this, that art really is community, really. I mean, there's so many other fun things. That's a good way to get laid. But ultimately, you know, it's community. That's how it came together. And then we borrowed cameras. We borrowed cameras. Gisela and I work in documentary television. Kevin came in with great skill and a calmness that we desperately needed. And most of those things you're seeing people in their own apartments. And then there was one day where we just all came to Margot Avery's house and shot all day. We just kept moving the cameras around her house, different locations, and gathered everything.
Nice.
Of course.
Add something about the process.
Yes, please.
Yeah. It's something that is really beautiful about working with Lisa is that she really allows you to use the space like, okay, what do you want to talk about? And then it's like asking questions, you know, essentially asking questions and open the space to like, and this is my style and this is how I want to express it. And then just kind of like, I think that was very important to really have this oral, you know, a conversation, you know, having that space so we all could express in our own way, yeah.
Which ended up with an amazing piece because we did not. Gisela said, "This is how I feel," and her work. By the way, her 14 Emmys that she has. It's a lot of it's work that sort of moves in a way that's not the way I work. I'm a very proscenium, you know, linear person. But we gave her that space, and she really, I mean, blossomed in it. It's just an incredible visit to what it is to be in a 52-year-old body.
Well, not anymore.
Which is not.
You know, the artistry is one thing, and the appeal and the concern of the artist is clearly set up. I mean, whether it be physical or mental issues, whatever. But this is universal, really. I mean, I can just see this as everybody's concern. I mean, you're born to think about this, and it happens very soon. I'm reading a book about that's just hasn't yet come out. I just picked it up, it was handed to me by Sam Roberts. Sam Roberts is the
New York Times.
obituarian, if you will, for the New York Times. And I don't have the book with me. I was going to grab it. I want to say the title properly. Have they died yet? That's the name of right. That when I saw this lying on the, I said, how did you do this? Well, who's going to buy it? Who cares? Who thinks about these things? But it's really a fascinating book because he's very smart and goes into all kinds of history and literature and all this kind of stuff. But it is really, I can only think of it as man's problem, man and woman's concern. It gets more intense as one gets a little bit older, you know, but it blows out a few candles. We have a scene. I come from CUNY TV, if you don't mind my saying that, and we just did a memorial, a tribute to Ronnie Eldridge, who worked for 25 years doing her show, and it was my honor to produce it for 25 years. It's one of the fabulous things in my life. Having said that, one of the last scenes, I don't like to give it away, it was a little bit of a surprise birthday party. You know, just past the date that we had, she was coming in to tape, and so they had candles and all that. And you know, she said, I hope I stay around. Now, she was 95 at that moment. And she did come in with a red cart, which we didn't put on the screen, but nevertheless, what we did say was her last words at her birthday party, because she had to go tape a show, was, I hope I stay a little bit longer on this earth, and hope that things get better on this earth. So we're a little smarter, we're a little more thoughtful, and a little bit more concerned about other human beings. And you see that throughout her life, throughout her career. So I'm just plugging CUNY TV. It's not a yelling, but it's well deserved. It really is, and it will be a tremendous thank you and tribute to her.
Speaking of,
An amazing woman.
she was amazing.
Plugging. What's next for us?
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Barcelona, you're all invited to Barcelona. We'll get yeah, maybe. That's a very good question.
I don't know, why make art for community? I think we were talking that artists often don't think about selling things. It's a different brain or a different beast. So I don't know.
Stop that, we're making another one.
But yeah, we're making it,
We're making another one. We're making one about our ancestors.
yes,
and
that's right.
how
We're
came here and why.
We're
and when.
revisiting this way of working together to talk about our own personal family immigration stories and the idea of what are borders and how a border can change your life just because you're on this side when it changes, you're on that side when it changes, which is a lot of our family histories are just being on the wrong or right side of the border. You know, Margot's grandmother was a slave in Iran. Yeah, we don't really think about that as an American. And, so we're all just starting to investigate those stories.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great job. I'm old. Thank you guys for everything. Yeah.
I love the studio. What's next for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Well,